Hey guys, what's up? This is Brian. I'm over here in the Cannonball headquarters here in Salt Lake City. It's summertime, it's hot. We're gonna check it out and see how they make the saxophones, how they get tested, how they ship them out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So here we go. Isn't that awesome?
Hi there everyone, so glad you joined us at Cannonball. We're really happy to have Brian here with us. It's a lot of fun. We've been looking forward to this. And I'm the CEO of Cannonball Musical Instruments. I'm Cheryl Lockett. And this is our 20th anniversary. We're really so happy that we made it 20 years. Woo! And we look forward to a lot more, and hopefully you've enjoyed this video.
Hey guys, so right now we're inside the actual Cannonball warehouse. And as you can see, there's tons of saxophones everywhere. So this is where they're all ready to get shipped out, and it all happens right here.
I'm Kaylee Robinson, and I work here at Cannonball Musical Instruments, and I'm just going to show you some of the stones that we put in our horns. And some of these are standard, but others are special order stones. So we'll start off with the Wild Horse Picture Jasper. You can either have more of a brown shade or your blue, green, and brown shade, which comes standard in your vintage horns. Then we have White Tiger Calcite, has the black and white variations within it. And then we have our Spider-Man Picture Jasper. And this is also a special order stone. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Multi-Picasso Jasper. And it's a beautiful stone, and it comes standard in our Gerald. This is our finished saxophone, and it is a special order soprano. It is an ice silver, and it has special order stones, the Spider-Man Picture Jasper inside.
Hi, I'm Maciel. I just do several jobs here. I'm from Guatemala, and I'm gonna show you how we do the regulation on the horn. So we first have these long lights that we just stick on the horn, and I have all my tools right here. Basically, what we use, and what you do basically is just make sure the horn is like everything. Just the light has to be like super. You can see any lights on it, and they have the corks that you take off. You see all the corks, they have several. This is a soprano, and you have any problems, you use plastics and you put it like on the keys. Make sure that all the keys just close as good as they can, and we make sure the horn is like perfectly regulated. And we have screwdrivers, so we use it like in all the little screws to make it like loose or tight, depends how we just want it. And these little hammers too. And that's basically all the regulation. So this key has a leak on the back here. So what we do is we take a plastic, put it here. We have a little tool that we put here on top of where the leak is, and then you hammer slightly, and that will take care of the leak in the back.
And guys, never try this at home. Always get a qualified repairman or repairwoman. So after the horn is regulated, it's staged here, right behind me, and then these horns will be play tested by one of the pros here at Cannonball. And then after they're play tested, everything checks out good, then they can be sent out.
Hey, I'm Ryan Lillywhite, kind of the final stop as far as playing the horns and working on them. So after they're regulated, they come in here to my office, and I'll play test them and then do the acoustical work on them, what really makes it a Cannonball. So first, what I'm about to do on this one, it just got regulated. I'm going to put my mouthpiece on it and just play it to get a baseline to see where it's at. And that's where I start from, and then I'll spend the next little while, don't know how much film you have, but I'll kind of take it apart and use some of these tools I have to go in and change the airflow, balance it differently so it's set up as something that I would want to stick with and gig with and live with for years to come. So first step, I'll give it a little play test. then probably not going to be able to let you see much of the tools or the work that we do that really turns it into the cannonball. But then afterwards, if you want to come back in, I could let you check that out, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear the difference, but let's see how it plays after regulating. Okay, so now I have a feel for what I want to do to the horn, a couple of the changes that I'm going to make. So, if you wouldn't mind, while I get out some tools, come back in a little bit. Hey, so I got done with it. This is a star horn. A lot more openness. It's a lot more rich now. A lot more high. I can push it a lot farther. And it just keeps on going. It's a lot of fun. Another thing is the bottom end whispers a lot better now. I mean, it's those little things. It's not just regulating a horn, but actually balancing it and doing the acoustical work inside that really makes it line up and light up to be that horn that you want to take home with you.
How's it going, Brian?
Good. How are you doing, Randall?
Good. So this is my office. It's a mess. I guess you probably want to know what I do in here all day. I do what Ryan does. That was the first job I had here at Cannonball, which is the hand customization and play testing, quality control, all that stuff. So the acoustic work that Ryan's over doing on that tenor right now, I also do. I do on the altos. So I've been working on this Gerald Albright horn this afternoon. And then I do the sopranos and I do the altos, and Ryan basically does the tenors and the baries. And you're here to do a recording session with us tomorrow. And so maybe you'd like to see kind of how that's going to work. Over across the parking lot, we have our sound stage where we do all the recording. And we have, lots of cameras that we roll and things like that while we're doing it. And then we have a nice recording setup that we do. And once we get all that audio, I bring that over here. And so what you see here is some Pro Tools audio from a session that we just finished a little while ago. This one's actually all done now, but this is the Gerald Albright Round Midnight. Pretty good, huh? Yeah. So once we get all that audio cleaned up, then we just pull all the cameras into the video editor. And this is one I've been working on today. This is actually going up on YouTube next week. And this is a clarinet thing. So we get all that put together and goes up onto YouTube. And once it gets up onto YouTube, you got this finished product. So I waste most of my day messing with this stuff. It's kind of fun.
So you may not know this, but Cannonball also makes awesome trumpets. So let's see what's going on in the trumpet world.
I'm CJ, and I hand lap the valves to make sure they're working properly.
I'm Taylor, and I help with hand lapping the valves, and then after we lap them, we gotta clean them off and make sure that they're clean and moving smoothly inside the trumpet.
Hey, I'm Ryan Lockett. I play test trumpets here at Cannonball Music. This is a 42S. It comes with two tuning slides. More of a traditional style trumpet, so let me play a little bit.
So my name is Chris Root. I am an employee here at Cannonball, and today I am in charge of the laser engraving machine that we use for processing clarinets. Every every single clarinet that comes in here gets a serial number engraved on it, as well as our dedicated Mio stamp put on every joint and every bell and barrel.
Hi, I'm Tavis. I'm the president of Cannonball Musical Instruments, and this is our flute finishing part of the building. We actually have these going out to different places. This is going into Wisconsin, a certain place, and that one's going over to Detroit. We have, these are the instruments that are going out at certain dates, and we get them prepared. The interesting thing is that I learned years ago, 35 years ago, how to cut head joints, flute head joints, and finish them and fit the heads to the bodies and that kind of thing. And I still do that. I'm still the one that actually finishes the flutes at the Cannonball Finishing Factory. And I actually did these this morning. Rachel's my assistant over here, and she actually makes sure that the flute is regulated properly and everything goes down before it goes out. We play test every instrument before they leave Cannonball, and as a final step before we actually ship them. So we build all the acoustics into them here, and again, I cut the head joints. The final cut is done right here in Utah. So there you go, like that. Sounds good to me. Okay, this is Rachel again, and she is actually doing what happens a lot here. There are 8 hand engravers, and this is her station. She needs to be near the light so she can see very well, and there's actually a stamp that we put on the instrument, and then she follows that pattern. And right now she's doing, why don't she talk, Rach?
So we have different sizes of tools. These knives that are in a wedge, and I just place it on the horn and wiggle it around. It takes a lot of practice. We practice on these practice bells right here. You can see we've filled a lot of these up with practicing just on the bells. There's the 20th anniversary mountain design. And some of them we've filled up so much just really practicing over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. They have to get really proficient. We hire people who are very artistic and artists and can create. And so every engraving is a little bit different. Rachel, show them the pattern on the...
So
got this.
This is the ink stamp. So we put ink on this, just washable ink, so it doesn't stick to the horn permanently. And then we place it like that, stamp it in, and it gives us this outline that we follow. And after I fill in these lines, I'll do embellishments with a different tool. So here's an example.
Yeah, see, so there's different lines, different size tools that she'll use for different things. Yeah, that gives it some character and some depth. The lines aren't all the same.
And we all do this a little differently. You can kind of tell we each have our own handwriting kind of thing. Yeah. All of our engravings look different. And we all do our embellishments a little bit differently. So you can kind of tell the difference between all of ours.
This section of the villa is actually where we finish the clarinets. These are all student clarinets, and that's kind of our focus in the summer because we're getting ready for school band in the fall. So all the stores are loading up on student instruments, and we're preparing those and getting them ready to go out. And if you'll follow me this way, this is the clarinet room. And this is where we design and develop new instruments and also finish the instruments in here. The technician that actually sits here is my good friend Darren Bradford. He's actually on tour with the Tabernacle Choir over in Europe right now. But he will be back in about a week, and then we'll continue to develop. We're actually redesigning the bass clarinet. That's why that's sitting here on the bench.
Hey guys, so since I'm here at Cannonball, I might as well try some new saxophones, right? So wouldn't you know it, there's one right here. And my mouthpiece is already on it, and reed.